Ichijo was once the least skilled at battling phantoms in his class and had never encountered one firsthand. His fortunes took a turn when a mysterious virus unleashed his hidden talents, suddenly making him the top phantom hunter ever known. This all began when Ichijo discovered he could call forth phantoms and coexist with them. A decade earlier, rebels had assaulted a facility in Japan known as Alayashiki, unleashing a virus across the country that granted bizarre abilities to people, turning them into phantom hunters. Among these hunters were Ichijo and his teammate Mai, previously known as the least effective duo globally. Their routine was disrupted when a phantom launched an assault on their school. In this chaos, Mai led the defense, unleashing her fiercest moves, while Ichijo swiftly sketched the creature, trapping it as if it were a creature in a game. Ichijo's rare skill let him sketch and then capture phantoms, creating fan art that became legendary, whereas Mai specialized in powerful strikes. After subduing the phantom, they sought guidance and a reward from their mentor Himeno, who chastised them for damaging school property and left them unrewarded. Frustrated with their financial woes, Mai lamented their dire straits and the need to find a legitimate way to earn money. They decided to expand their team. On his journey, Ichijo encountered Riane, a girl with an extraordinary ability to consume phantoms using her intense power. Impressed, Ichijo awkwardly tried to enlist her, but his approach frightened her away. Despite a comical mishap that left him embarrassed, he met her again the next day to make amends, offering her lunch. Rihanna confessed she was often hungry because her parents refused to support her financially. Sympathizing with her, Ichijo promised that joining their club would solve her lunch issues. Convinced, Rihanna agreed and introduced herself to Mai, joining their team. Following their initial encounter, the trio embarks on their first adventure together, tackling a disturbance in the neighborhood where phantoms engage in a peculiar version of the children's game Limbo. Mai attempts to evade electrified poles during the challenge, but quickly retreats after nearly getting shocked. Ichijo, typically the geek of the group, surprisingly provides valuable advice this time, explaining that they must outplay the phantoms at their own game. The team joins in, enduring hours of lowering bars until Rihanna falters and Ichijo suffers a shock, leaving only Mai to continue. As the challenge intensifies, one of the poles mistakenly disqualifies itself, yet the victory seems out of reach until Mai, renowned for her agility, deploys a crowd-pleasing move to clinch the win. With the phantoms subdued, Rihanna efficiently cleans up by absorbing them. After reporting back to their mentor Himeno, Ichijo spots a girl he had seen earlier. The next day, he tries to engage her, but she dismissively ignores him. Himeno informs them that her name is Koito, a solitary but potent phantom hunter known for her standoffish nature. Despite Ruru's suggestion to recruit her, Ichijo hesitates. However, they soon join forces with Koito at a derelict Alayashiki site after learning she is overwhelmed by hostile drones. Despite her initial reluctance, Koito accepts their aid following Mai and Riane's effective distractions and Ichijo's strategic capture of the main phantom, nicknamed Alexa for its noise-canceling capabilities. Although they introduce themselves to Koito after the ordeal, she remains distant and leaves promptly. Before departing, Ruru discovers an odd device at the scene. The next day, Himeno assigns them another task involving a UFO phantom reportedly targeting a nearby girls' dormitory. The phantom, however, proves elusive until Mai and Rihanna decide to attract it by starting an online fan account, excluding Ichijo from the plan. When the phantom finally reveals itself and begins pestering them, Ichijo summons a remarkably capable dog that successfully apprehends the intruder, which Rihanna then consumes, demonstrating another of her unique powers by healing Ichijo with a peculiar gesture. Their next assignment leads them to a new location where Mai faces immediate trouble from two formidable phantoms. Quick to react, Ichijo sketches rapidly, releasing his loyal puppy onto the battlefield to sidetrack the menacing phantom duo. Seizing the moment of distraction, he helps Mai escape, as the phantom duo mockingly warns her to return stronger. Determined to improve, Mai spends the next day teaching Ichijo and Rihanna the basics of martial arts, but they prove to be comically inept, performing even worse than Riane's infamous suction ability. In a moment of inspiration, Ichijo suggests an unorthodox strategy. transferring Mai's combat skills directly into his brain. Overhearing this, their mentor Hymno endorses the idea but insists they strengthen their teamwork through a bonding activity first. Consequently, Ichijo and Mai spend a day together, hoping to deepen their connection. After their bonding day, the group revisits the bridge for a rematch with the Phantoms. This time, Mai drags Ichijo into the fray. However, the Phantoms overpower them, catapulting Mai through the air in a spectacle reminiscent of a high-velocity video game character. In a desperate attempt to rescue her, Ichijo accidentally headbutts Mai, a mishap that bizarrely transfers her skills to him. Despite now possessing Mai's abilities, Ichijo struggles with endurance, his energy quickly depleting. Observing Ichijo's pitiful state, Hymno advises him to mimic Mai's self-motivational techniques. Taking this advice to heart, Ichijo unleashes a dramatic finishing move called Phantom of the North Star, merging his and Mai's strengths into a formidable force. This duo transformation enables them to triumph over the Phantoms, who, it turns out, are manifestations from Mai's memories and not genuinely malicious. After their unexpected victory, the trio celebrates at a buffet, where Rione's limitless hunger astonishes the staff. As the evening winds down, Mai and Ichijo say their goodbyes to Rione, who waits alone for a bus. When the bus arrives, Riona boards with an unsettling feeling. The next day, she shares her concerns with Ichijo and Mai. Ruru, suspecting foul play, suggests that Riona might be under a phantom's spell. Unexpectedly, Koido appears, confirming Ruru's suspicion of possession. Determined to protect her, Ichijo and Mai accompany Riona as she boards the bus again, which unexpectedly turns out to be a battle bus transporting them to a mystical location known as Hazy Hillside. Instead of treasures, Ichijo encounters two bunny phantoms posing as Rione's parents. As he tries to negotiate Rione's release, he inadvertently consumes their food, which leads to his own enchantment, complicating their escape even further. Ichijo manages to shake off the effects of the Phantom's enchantment. He attempts to rouse Rione, informing her that no time had passed in the familiar realm of the Fortnite map. However, they find themselves in front of Rione's house, where her strict parents begin interrogating them. To prevent further complications, Riona hastily sends Ichijo home to dodge an impromptu family interrogation. The following day, the group reconvenes to strategize their next move. Koido advises them against consuming any food provided by phantoms to avoid further hypnosis. During their discussion, Riona confesses that the phantoms likely manifested from her longing for kinder, more understanding parents, contrasting her real, stricter ones. Moved by her admission, Mai and Ichijo agree to support her fully, and all three board the battle bus together, ready for another confrontation. As they approach the Phantom battlefield, Ichijo attempts to sketch the scene, but finds himself still hampered by the lingering effects of the Phantom's food. Mai steps up to tackle the challenge alone, but like Ichijo, falls prey to the same hypnotic trap. With the trio now under the spell, their situation seems dire. It isn't until Ichijo breaks free from the hypnosis during a restroom break that they find a way out. He impulsively hugs Rione, which unexpectedly awakens her judo instincts, snapping her out of the trance. Riona explains that the enchanting yet false family setting was born from her deep-seated desire for an ideal family life. As the illusion dissipates, the Phantom family offers Riona one last chance to stay with them. But Ichijo convinces her with a heartfelt speech to embrace her reality, helping her reject the illusion. This decision causes the Phantoms to vanish, leaving Riona momentarily traumatized but ultimately free. The next day, Rione's parents, perhaps sensing a change, surprisingly permit her to engage more actively with her club. A few days later, Ichijo learns from Shosuke about Koido's past popularity and her current social awkwardness, which leads to her isolation. Despite Shosuke's risky remarks, Koido refrains from a harsh reaction. Later, when Koido embarks on a solo mission, Ichijo, feeling apologetic for a previous incident, tries to intercept her. A sudden phantom attack interrupts them, which Koido neutralizes, but not without suffering damage to her vocal cords due to a toxic exposure. The group quickly steps in to assist, with a summoned teddy bear delivering a decisive blow to the phantom, allowing them to retreat safely to the infirmary. As Koido recovers, she sternly tells the group to refrain from joining her in high-stakes missions, concerned about their safety and her own recovery. Overhearing this, Hymno suggests a competition to determine who should confront the phantom next, stirring frustration in Koito, who feels undermined while still not fully recovered. Feeling responsible for her predicament, Ichijo resolves to keep an eye on Koito, despite her protests, aiming to support her as she navigates her lingering effects and maintains her enigmatic solitude. Koito, leveraging her unique ability to detect phantoms through barriers, leads a hunt against them. However, after several unproductive hours, Ichijo gives up, prompting Koito to dismissively tell him to leave. Undeterred, Ichijo remains outside her apartment throughout the night, determined to help her. The following day, they meet up with Riene, Mai, and the newly recruited sweet shop worker Kirimi, all of whom are motivated to succeed in their missions and earn rewards from Hymno. As the group splits to cover more ground, Koito, annoyed by Ichijo's chatter, abruptly tells him to be quiet because they are close to their target. They track the phantom, and when it appears, Koito engages, but quickly finds herself outmatched due to her still recovering powers, leading to her defeat. Ichijo summons his faithful dog to distract the phantom and rescue Koito, but despite his efforts, the phantom escapes again. Frustrated and determined, Koito chases after the phantom alone, vanishing from the area unexpectedly, which prompts Ichijo to search for her, starting from the local student body and leading back to Hymno's office. There, Hymno reveals that Koito's isolation stems from her overpowering abilities, which even frighten her own parents, leaving only the Phantom Hunting Agency to accept her due to her talent. Receiving a tip-off about Koito's location from Ruru, Ichijo rushes to find her in the midst of another battle with her nemesis. Unfortunately, Koito is outsmarted again and nearly defeated until Ichijo, along with Mai and her team, arrive just in time. Mai uses her typical tactics while Ichijo employs his sketching to turn the tide, defeating the phantom. Rihanna then steps in to heal Koito. Upon examining the phantom sketch, Hymno suggests that Koito might have been targeting the wrong enemy all along. Embarrassed by the ordeal, Koito quickly leaves the scene. The next day, Koito encounters Ichijo outside his home, where she apologizes for her behavior the previous day, expressing her gratitude before leaving without further explanation. Shortly after, Ichijo meets with Kirimi, who nearly has an accident in the street. In the chaos, they inadvertently trigger an ice sky-like portal, plunging them into a bizarre world. In this strange land, talking bears inform Kirimi that she is a princess intended to be kidnapped. As the bears attempt to abduct her, Albrecht, a phantom bear and Kirimi's toy, intervenes, scaring them off with his presence. Albrecht then apologizes to Kirimi for his earlier failure to protect her. Amidst the confusion, Albrecht leads them to a safe house, explaining that Kirimi's royal lineage has made her a target, with a villainous figure seeking to either kill or marry her. While in the safe house, Kirimi struggles to come to terms with her supposed destiny and her role as a princess. Albrecht encourages her, presenting her with a powerful weapon she rightfully owns, suggesting it's her destiny to wield it. As Ichijo pieces together that they are within the confines of Kirimi's imagination, their location is compromised, and they face an imminent attack by a small army of bears. In a desperate attempt to escape, Albrecht sacrifices himself to ensure Kirimi's safety. Faced with ongoing threats, Kirimi decides to take control, ready to confront her challenges head-on. Now feeling empowered and protective, Kirimi decides it's her turn to shield Albrecht, the one who always protected her. Using her newfound royal powers, she challenges the antagonist ensconced in a makeshift mech suit, humorously dubbed the Walmart Gundam. With a fiery spirit fueled by both divine and anime-inspired zeal, Kirimi forces the bear to concede defeat and scurry back to his lowly place. Triumphantly, Kirimi emerges with a new life goal: to support Ichijo, the less adept member of their team. Days later, a peculiar virus spreads through Ichijo's school, inducing students to mimic Discord kitten behaviors. Koito, sensing something amiss, investigates and traces the phenomenon to an old mansion rumored to house a phantom. Meanwhile, Mai provides insight into the mansion's history, revealing it once served as a home for numerous cats, hence its nickname, Cat Mansion. Amidst these discussions, Kirimi seeks help for her friend Irina, whose cat Rudolph has gone missing. The group agrees to assist and starts by crafting missing posters with Ichijo's artistic skills. However, the situation escalates when they visit a local store and find everyone bizarrely acting like cats. As the school transforms into a hub for catgirl and catboy antics, the group debates the cause. Rihanna suspects a Discord moderator's curse, but Koito is convinced it's the work of a phantom. Convinced the source is linked to the cat mansion, they decide to raid it. Inside, they encounter repetitive loops and endless corridors until they finally find a large room where the mysterious phantom reveals itself. The confrontation is intense but initially futile, as Mai and Koito's attacks barely scratch the massive phantom cat. In a surprising twist, the phantom conjures a Fortnite map challenge. Amid the confusion, Kirumi spots an opportunity to find Rudolph and dashes towards a portal, with the rest of the group quickly following. This pursuit leads them into another dimension where they discover that the human-like appearances are memories preserved by the phantom cat of the mansion's previous visitors. Rihanna attempts to negotiate peacefully with the phantom, using a gentle approach, while Kirumi adds her quirky input. Remarkably, the phantom cat is moved by their efforts and agrees to release Rudolph back to the group. With Rudolph safe and the mystery unraveled, the Discord kitten virus dissipates, restoring normalcy to the school. To prevent a recurrence, Ichijo and his team undertake the task of cleaning up the cat mansion, hoping to eliminate any residual phantom energy. However, their peace is short-lived as a new disturbance arises. This time, a group of phantoms resembling monkeys wreak havoc at a local hot spring, disrupting the community and posing a new challenge. Shosuke, one of Ichijo's less adept friends, engages but is comically transported to distant planets by the formidable Monkey King. The school's least capable fighters attempt various strategies, from summoning falcons to executing elaborate anime-inspired attacks, all of which are effortlessly countered by the Phantom Monkeys. Eventually, even the elite members of the Phantom Hunter Club face defeat against this unexpectedly sophisticated adversary. The situation reaches a comedic climax when Mai, in a slapstick mishap, slips on a banana peel during her confrontation with the monkey boss, who captures and nonchalantly licks her, showcasing the absurdity and challenge of their latest phantom encounter. Ichijo, Kirumi, and Koito all attempt to rescue Mai from the monkey boss, but fail in their efforts. With many students already defeated, Ichijo devises a final plan using the last remnants of his strategic thinking. They will deploy a Trojan horse to infiltrate the monkey's stronghold. Unfortunately, their plan unravels when tiny monkeys leap onto them, revealing their cover and subjecting Mai to further harassment. Desperate, the group turns to an unconventional tactic: seduction. Rihanna approaches the monkey boss to win his affection, intending to lure him out of the hot springs so Ichijo can capture him. However, the monkey rejects her advances and douses her with hot water. Kirumi and Koito also attempt to defeat the phantom with their unique skills, but they are equally unsuccessful. Running out of ideas, Ichijo encourages Mai to adopt a daring tactic, painting her cheeks red in a style sure to captivate the monkey boss. Though initially hesitant, Mai agrees. Ichijo meticulously works on his painting, and when Mai presents the results to the monkey boss, it captivates him enough to draw him out of the water, revealing his grotesque feat. However, as the monkey boss advances, Ichijo assures Mai that he won't let her suffer another defeat. He summons Squidward, who blasts the monkey boss, forcing him back while Mai is saved. Still intent on a rematch, the monkey boss returns for round 2, but Squidward and Koito's combined efforts finally subdue him. The tiny monkeys reveal to Ruru that their boss was actually a lonely figure whose life fell apart after his wife left him. Saddened by this, Himeno decides to offer Ichijo as a companion to the monkey boss to lift his spirits. After narrowly escaping the monkey's grasp, Ichijo returns to the club, where Ayumi invites him and the team to join her drama club's play. As a one-person club with aspirations to compete in the regionals, she needs their help to fill the cast. Although Ichijo has no acting experience, Ayumi assures them they can improvise. Koito reluctantly agrees, sensing a phantom at play. Rehearsals are chaotic as Ayumi's passion for drama sometimes clouds her judgment, but her unwavering determination drives the group forward. Despite past failures, she is determined to make it to the regionals this time. The Beach Angels handle critical behind-the-scenes tasks, while Ichijo and the others tour to gather pre-production material. After a week of intense practice, the play begins. Ichijo and Rihanna start the performance, but when Ayumi steps on stage, the simple background shifts to an immersive, magical world. Koito's suspicion proves correct, and Ayumi suddenly morphs into a fox-like phantom. Undeterred, Ichijo advises Rihanna to continue acting, knowing they must play along to reveal Ayumi's true form. Eventually, they defeat her, restoring her to human form. It becomes clear that Ayumi is a phantom who loves drama and opera so much that she pretends to be human. Thanks to Shosuke and the Beach Angels working in the background, they incorporate this revelation into the show, and the audience is captivated. After reconciling with Ayumi, the team completes the play, with Ayumi's powers making the entire audience part of the performance. Fearing injuries, Ichijo and the group quickly subdue Ayumi before she can cause more chaos, dispelling the phantom illusion and restoring order. Their imaginative performance wins the Gold Award and secures Ayumi a shot at the Nationals. A few weeks later, summer arrives and Ruru dreams up a list of fun activities. However, Ichijo remains preoccupied and inadvertently steps on her, further annoying her. After Ruru's transformation into a human-sized figure, she joins Ichijo's school to live out her new human experience, though she finds even basic walking a challenge. Despite her lack of skills, she is warmly welcomed into Ichijo's Phantom Hunter Club. During a planned fireworks event, Ruru struggles with her new human limitations and separates from the group with Ichijo, who helps tend to her aching feet. Suddenly, a fireworks phantom appears, threatening chaos. Ruru recognizes a pendant the phantom wears as similar to the one given by the Phantom Witch who granted her wish earlier. When the phantom kidnaps Ichijo, planning to end things dramatically, Ruru learns from the Phantom Witch that the pendant is the source of its power. Realizing she is the only one who can fly, Ruru bravely confronts the Phantom, convincing it to release Ichijo by empathizing with its feelings of being trapped and misunderstood. They ascend together, and though Ichijo fears the worst, Ruru miraculously survives the encounter. The night concludes with a spectacular fireworks display, celebrated by all, though Ruru overindulges and becomes a bit tipsy. The next morning, Ichijo wakes up mysteriously reverted to his childhood form, causing confusion at his elementary school where no one recognizes him. Kurumi, stumbling upon him, tries to resolve the situation by taking him to Hosea Academy, where the transformation bewilders everyone. Despite his memory loss, Mai assures him he will be okay, and Hyemno suggests he return to his usual classes. After school, Mai steps up to care for him. Mai struggles with the burden of looking after Ichijo. When a phantom attacks, Ichijo, driven by the need to protect Mai, manages to reset himself to his usual age and appearance just in time to defeat the phantom and save her. This event marks his return to normalcy. In the aftermath, the Phantom Hunters Club is alerted by Hyemno about a new threat, an S-class phantom known as Enigma, known for stealing abilities. As Ichijo and his team upgrade from E-rank to elite Phantom Hunters, they confront Enigma during a patrol. The Phantom demonstrates its power by absorbing a Beach Angel's abilities through a kiss. Mai and Koito attack, and Ichijo uses Squidward to trap Enigma, but the Phantom mysteriously escapes from the sketchbook. Amid these chaotic events, Ichijo receives a phone call from a woman he immediately recognizes as his mother, whom he hasn't seen since she left him with his father years ago. This unexpected reunion brings up mixed feelings for Ichijo, confronting him with unresolved issues from his past. As he meets his mother for the first time in years, Ichijo must navigate the complex emotions of resentment and the sudden re-emergence of his mother in his life, all while dealing with the continuous threats posed by the Phantom world. The surprising return of Ichijo's mother initially brings joy and an opportunity to mend their strained relationship. However, Ruru, always suspicious and perceptive, senses something off about the sudden reunion. Despite Ruru's concerns, Ichijo dismisses the idea that his mother's return could be a phantom's trick, choosing to cherish the moments they can spend together. As Ichijo assists his mother with shopping, the rest of the Phantom Hunter group, led by Mai, Rione, Kurumi, and Koito, cover for his absence, handling tasks and missions while he is preoccupied. Koito, however, detects a peculiar aura around Ichijo's mom, suggesting something supernatural. The group agrees to consult Himeno and conduct their own investigation. When they visit Ichijo's home, they find his mother to be exceptionally kind and normal, which leaves them doubting their suspicions. However, a call from Himeno confirms their worst fears. Ichijo's real mother has been missing for the same duration she supposedly had been living with him. Before Mai can react to this revelation, Enigma, the phantom they had been dealing with, appears and attacks Mai, revealing herself in the guise of Ichijo's mother. Enigma taunts Ichijo, deriding his abilities, and kidnaps him with the intention of draining his powers. After successfully absorbing Ichijo's abilities, Enigma leaves the shell of the woman who posed as his mother, now powerless and in critical condition. The group rushes the woman to a Leashiki hospital for treatment, where she will remain until Enigma can be dealt with. As Ichijo leaves the hospital, he encounters his mother's new husband, who hands him a sketchbook containing a picture of Ichijo and his mother, a poignant reminder of what he's fighting for. Back at home, Ruru behaves unusually, adding to the group's worries. Koito, determined to uncover more about Aleashiki's secrets and Enigma, pressures Ichijo to fix the device Ruru found earlier, believing it may hold key information. With Kurumi's help and Alber's technical skills, they manage to hack into Aleashiki's servers and discover shocking details about Enigma. She is part of a program designed to create enhanced phantoms for various unethical purposes. As they digest this information, Enigma launches an attack on the Aleashiki facility where Ichijo's mom is being treated. The group rushes to the scene to confront her. Ichijo, feeling powerless and guilty, attempts to take on Enigma alone, but is quickly reminded by his friends that without his powers, he is in over his head. Just as they arrive, Himeno provides transport to the facility. Mai intervenes, stopping Ichijo from advancing and taking the lead in the confrontation. She boldly challenges Enigma, dismissing her ambitions of dominance over the Phantom Realm. As the battle unfolds, the group must rally together to counter Enigma's formidable powers, protect Ichijo's mother, and put an end to the chaos caused by this rogue phantom. In the climactic battle, Enigma reveals her motive to Mai and the group, declaring her intent to rule over both phantoms and humans. She describes herself as a product of human experimentation, genetically modified and subjected to extreme tests, which transformed her into a powerful entity possessing both human and phantom traits. Now she plans to enhance her abilities further by absorbing those of others. The group launches a coordinated attack against Enigma, but she easily handles the 4-on-1 assault, showcasing her immense power. As Enigma prepares to deliver a finishing blow to Mai, Ichijo attempts to intervene but is thwarted. Transforming into the image of Ichijo's mother, Enigma aims to psychologically torment him, but Ruru tries to protect him. Ichijo, determined to shield Ruru, ends up taking the hit instead. In this dire moment, Himeno reveals that Ichijo could potentially restore his powers by absorbing Ruru's, as she was originally manifested from his own abilities. With reluctance but encouraged by his friends, Ichijo makes the difficult decision to take Ruru's power. Empowered once again, Ichijo summons his ultimate creature, overpowering Enigma's mimicry and leading to her defeat. Enigma, reverted to her original form, makes one last stand but is swiftly overwhelmed by the group's combined efforts. Her defeat is marked by her crystallization, and she concedes, confessing her enjoyment of the battle. Mai delivers the final blow, exorcising Enigma and thus securing a safer future for both humans and phantoms. With the threat neutralized, normalcy returns. Ichijo's mother recovers her memories, healing the family wounds. This resolution closes a chapter of intense battles and emotional revelations, underscoring the resilience and unity of Ichijo and his team. In a twist typical of online content creators, the narrative concludes with a call to action, encouraging viewers to engage with the story by leaving a comment, "Rip Ichijo," liking the video, and subscribing for more updates.